샌디 한국어 책 제목과 저자 말씀해 주세요.
네, 한국어 책 제목은 오즈의 마법사이고 저자는 엘 프랭크 바움입니다.
네, 오늘 그 직접 번역하신 거
네.
낭독해 주시고 청중들은 쉐도잉으로 따라가겠습니다.
도로시는 농부인 헨리 아저씨와 그의 아내인 에마 주머니와 함께 커다란 캔자스 평원 한가운데에 살았다. 집을 짓기 위한 목재들을 멀리서 운반해 와야 했기 때문에 그들의 집은 작았다. 그 방에는 4개의 벽들, 바닥, 지붕이 있었다. 그 방에는 녹슬어 보이는 오븐과 접시들을 놓기 위한 선반, 하나의 식탁, 3개 혹은 4개의 의자들, 그리고 침대들이 놓여 있었다. 방 한 구석에는 헨리 아저씨와 에마 주머니를 위한 침대가 있었고 다른 한 구석에는 도로시를 위한 작은 침대가 놓여져 있었다. 어떤 건물을 부술 만한 엄청난 회오리 바람이 불었을 때 그 가족이 갈 수 있도록 땅속에 파놓은 돌풍 내피소라 불리는 하나의 작은 구멍을 제외하고 다락방도 내피소도 없었다. 그 구멍은 작고 어두운 구멍 속으로 이끄는 사다리가 있는 작은 문에 닿았다. 도로시가 문간에서 주위를 둘러보았을 때 모든 곳에 있는 큰 회색 평원 외엔 아무것도 볼 수 없었다. 모든 방향에서 하늘의 모서리에 닿은 시골의 넓은 땅은 나무도 집도 가리지 못했다. 태양은 잇따라 그어진 작은 금들로 된 회색 덩어리로 이루어진 땅을 달구었다.
1분 동안 방금 얘기 정리해 주세요. 저희 얼굴 보시고요.
네, 지금 도로시의 제일 첫 부분인데요. 도로시가 살고 있는 캔자스 평원 한가운데에 도로시의 작은 도로시와 헨리 아저씨, 헨리 아줌마와 함께 살고 있는 작은 집을 묘사하고 있는 장면입니다. 도로시의 집은 아주 작았습니다. 왜냐하면 그 집을 짓기 위해 목재들을 날라야 하는데 집이 좀 외떨어져 있어서 멀리서 목재들을 갖고 오기가 힘들어서 작은 집에 살림 도구들도 그렇게 많지 않고 오븐 하나, 침대 2개, 아저씨와 아주머니를 위한 침대, 도로시의 침대 이 정도로 작은 살림살이, 적은 살림살이들을 갖고 있는 집에 살고 있다는 묘사를 했고요. 그리고 도로시가 살고 있는 집은 커다란 평원 한가운데, 캔자스 평원 한가운데 있어서 주변에 풀들도 거의 없고 다 말라 있고 이래서 되게 초라해 보이고 또 그곳은 회오리 바람, 거대한 돌풍이 가끔씩 불어와서 그 돌풍을 피하기 위한 작은 대피소조차도 없어서 그냥 구멍에 사다리가 있는데 그 구멍에 있는 놓여 있는 사다리를 통해서 밑으로 대피하면 돌풍을 피할 수 있는 그렇다고 묘사가 되어 있습니다.
영어 낭독으로 넘어가겠습니다.
네.
샌디, please start your reading, English reading, and members please do shadowing speaking together.
Dorothy lived in the midst of the great Kansas prairies with Uncle Harry, who was a farmer, and Aunt Em, who was the farmer's wife. Their house was small, for the lumber to build it had to be carried by wagon many miles. There were 4 walls, a floor, and a roof, which made one room, and this room contained a rusty-looking cooking stove, a cupboard for the dishes, a table, 3 or 4 chairs, and beds. Uncle Harry and Aunt Em had a big bed in one corner, and Dorothy a little bed in another corner. There was no garret at all, and no cellar, except a small hole, dug in the ground, called the cyclone cellar, where the family could go in case one of those great whirlwinds arose, mighty enough to crush any building in its path. It was reached by a trapdoor in the middle of the door, from which a ladder led down into a small dark hole. When Dorothy stood in the doorway and looked around, she could see nothing but the great gray prairie on every side. Not a tree nor a house, but the broad sweep of flat country that reached the edge of the sky in all directions. The sun had baked the plowed land into a great mess, with little cracks running through it.
Sally, what is a keyword in this page?
Yes, my keyword is house. Yes.
Where is house?
House is
First
from the
page,
top. Yeah,
first
first
page.
page from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start with the farmer's wife, their house.
And why do you think house is the keyword?
Yes. House is a building that someone lives in. In this episode, the writer explained their house.
Describes their house.
Describes their
Dorothy's
house. Yes.
Storytelling for 3 minutes. And members, please look at Sally.
Yes.
Please choose your storytelling part, and then you read original sentence and explain it, and the next sentence.
Yes. First page, first line. Dorothy lived in the midst of the great Kansas prairies with Uncle Harry, who was a farmer, and Aunt Em, who was the farmer's wife. Dorothy is a girl, and I think she is about 10 or 11 years old. She lives in great Kansas prairies. Her house is in Kansas prairies. She lives with Uncle Harry and Aunt Em. And next sentence. Their house was small, for the lumber to build it had to be carried by wagon many miles. She lives. Her house is small because they built a house with lumber. Lumber is some kind of wood. Have a difficulty with carrying the lumbers. And there were 4 walls, a floor, and a roof, which made one room. And this room contained a rusty-looking cooking stove, a cupboard for the dishes, a table, 3 or 4 chairs, and beds. 2 beds. A big bed is for Aunt Em and Uncle Harry, and small bed is for Dorothy. Their house has 1 room. So, besides their beds, there is a kitchen, a cupboard, a rusty-looking cooking stove, and yes. And next, Uncle Harry and Aunt Em had a big bed and in one corner, and Dorothy a little bed in another corner. And next, there was no garret at all, and no cellar except a small hole dug in the ground called the cyclone cellar. Yes.
Time's up. Members,
Yes.
please ask her any questions.
Doesn't Dorothy's family have neighborhood?
Neighborhood. They don't have any neighbor.
Why do you think they are living in the Kansas prairies? There's no friend, there's no trees.
Dorothy lived with Uncle Harry and Aunt Em. Dorothy is an orphan. They're orphan, so they took care of Dorothy. So they grow some animals like cows and horses. So they need great prairies. Yes.
So, what kind of crops does the farmer grow, you think?
I think wheat or barley. Yeah.
Or the corn?
Corn. Yes.
Who did make the house?
I think Uncle Harry and Aunt Em made their house.
They just one room. And how is the floor, you think? Is it covered with wood or stone or just the ground? How do you think?
I think it's covered with wood.
I think my opinion is just the ground.
Ground.
Because the lumber is expensive. And so, because when I did the interior in my club, the floor is expensive one all the time. So I think the floor is just the ground, I think.
Do you think they made some windows on the walls?
There is a window in the wall, one side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a glass, you think?
Yes, glass.
Then how long do you think Aunt Anne and Uncle Henry made the house? How long?
It's about 3 or 4 months.
Hardly 3 or 4 months. The hard work
Yes.
to make a house by himself alone, I think. Is Kansas a fertile soil, healthy land, you think?
I don't know.
Okay. And is Kansas
Yes.
a fertile soil means healthy land? Land itself is a good land or a bad land? Ground.
No, I don't. I think it's a bad land.
So very cheap land.
Yes.
So poor family they are.
Yes,
So
poor.
they moved here.
Yes.
But they can get a land.
Yes.
But that is not popular land.
Yes. Yes.
What is the main source of their income?
I think Uncle Harry is a farmer, so he grows some animals like cows and horses. I think he sold the animals, and he made money.
So do you think what they can make money? It's
Yeah.
extra money.
Yes.
I think just they can grow, they can get meat and the crops for eating. I think just for eating. That's for it. As we do, we get salary
Yes.
and we use up for eating and just not saving.
Sell.
Yeah.
How about selling the horses and cows?
No, if they sell horses, cows, they no. Okay, is a how can I say bankruptcy for farmers.
Cows give them milk,
Ah,
and chickens give them eggs.
yes.
I think they should keep their animals.
From animals.
This is very famous part, the
Yeah.
Doros part, and you translated it.
Yes.
And when you translated these articles, how did you feel? Easy or some different taste or familiar?
I read this part
Many times.
many times from
Exactly.
habitual English,
Mhm.
so it's very familiar to me. I have no difficulty of this translating.
You enjoyed it.
Yes, I enjoyed this part.
Are you going to finish all the pages of Oz by translation?
I hope so.
You hope so?
Yeah. I
You
try.
may
I'm
change-
trying.
You may change it.
Yes. Thank you.